What is the most important aspect of co-parenting? Last week's episode started our series on co-parenting, embracing a new beginning, creating a new foundation for co-parenting. My name is Sai, and here I have today Rick, my ex. Today, we're excited to bring you the third and final episode of our series titled Establishing Roles and Support. Our goal is to provide you with practical solutions and encourage you to build a supportive and resilient co-parenting environment. This episode is for divorced or single parents who may be struggling with their co-parenting situations. We will talk about how realignment of roles and building strong support systems can dramatically improve the co-parenting experience for both parents and children. Over the past decade, since our divorce, Rick and I have navigated the complex journey of co-parenting through much trial and developed strategies that have significantly smoothed our path, and we're here to share those insights with you. In our previous episodes, Embracing the Shift and Defining the Co-parenting Framework, we explored the initial stages of transitioning and setting groundwork for effective co-parenting. Today, we look deeper into the practical aspects of redefining roles and enhancing support systems. Let's dive right in. Rick, how does transforming relationship roles benefit co-parenting when shifting from romantic partners?
I guess the best way to say it is when you've got two people who have been in a romantic relationship and they've decided to no longer be together in that way, there's a reason for that. Something happened. And the thing that happened is usually bad. It usually is not good, which means it's not going to be good memories. It's going to be baggage that you don't want to bring forward into a new relationship. So our framework is very clear. We need to build a new relationship altogether. And this new relationship will have its own foundation. And it's going to be based on who we each other are as a person, not who we are as a couple. So remember, it's not about moving forward from a relationship that you had a bunch of baggage to. It's a brand new relationship that you're going to build a brand new foundation on, that you can build new memories on to move forward.
Can you elaborate on why it is important for co-parents to redefine their roles around the children's needs rather than their past interactions?
So it's pretty much the same thing. The bottom line is your children obviously saw the relationship that you had also. Your children were a part of it, and your children had to endure it. And often, in a lot of cases, especially if there was any yelling and any if emotions were really high, that can be quite traumatic for children. So in order to move forward in a way that's going to be meaningful to the kids, you have to have a new strategy, a new relationship, a new foundation, something new that you can move forward with. It's all about building new memories. It's all about building a new foundation and remembering that every relationship you have is different, even if it's with the same people. So friends, sometimes people are best friends and then they become romantic partners. Those are two different relationships. And sometimes people are romantic partners and they decide to just be co-parents. Two different relationships. They have to be treated as two different relationships. They are considerably different. And when it comes to having kids, it's imperative that the two parents teach their children that life does not have to be turmoil and anger and fraught. It can be wonderful and happy, even if mommy and daddy aren't together anymore. My turn.
Okay.
So, Sai, how does focusing on each parent's strengths enhance the co-parenting framework?
When we're talking about the framework, we start talking with the foundation. So each parent can draw a strength from the other parent's best traits. Like, for example, you are very focused and you make sure that things get done at the time that needs to be done. You're good with keeping schedules, with time management. and I am a little bit more creative and fun, and I'm flexible, and I'm able to, have that flexibility to fix things when things don't go as expected. So we can both be grateful that we can rely on each other's strengths.
That doesn't mean that I'm boring. Maybe I'm boring. We'll see how I feel. You guys be the judge. All right. Number 4. In what ways does realigning co-parenting roles based on individual strengths benefit the kids?
Well, kind of going along with the same that I just said, our dynamic, or the morning dynamic especially, has always been drawing from each other's strengths. So I would make the kids ready to go. They have their lunch boxes, they have their schoolwork all done, and then when you are in the morning ready to take them to school, you make sure that they are ready to go at the time that it's time to go, so that I can also get to my work on time. So they know and they've seen from the very beginning that we both can draw from each other's strengths and rely on that, and they see the cooperation, they see the easy morning going without any fuss, without any fighting. They just goes. They are ready to go for a good day at school. So, Greg, why is defining clear responsibilities important for co-parenting?
Oh, this is critical. If you don't have clearly defined responsibilities, then no one knows what the other one's going to do. And in the beginning, it's ever more important, because if you don't, what will happen is you'll fall back into the issues that you had before. So the whole process is to, again, build new foundation, new memories. So we do what we talked about a minute ago. We start building on each other's strengths. And then what happens is you're using each other's strengths to enable everybody to have a smooth day and a smooth week and a smooth month. And the kids, again, get to see two people who are their parents, who are no longer living together and hugging and kissing and all these things that they're used to. They're still seeing them not fighting. They're still seeing them cooperating and getting things done, and their lives being managed in a way that isn't traumatic. Because believe me, parents splitting up, traumatic enough for kids. Mm-hmm. So the goal is to make it as least traumatic as possible on the kids.
That's true.
All right. So how do individual support systems enhance a co-parent's ability to manage parenting duties effectively?
Okay. One of the first things that I did when we were getting divorced was reaching out and just finding that I had people that I could go to and rely to. I found a couple of people from work that became friends, and now we've been long-time friends. My family, I'm so grateful and lucky to have the family, even though they are not living in this country, but I still had that support. My mom was with me on video conferences every day and just giving me advice and support and whatever I needed in whatever shape she could from the distance. And I also started Positively Inspired, which was a way to reach out to other people that, like me, were going through what I was going at the time, and giving back that positivity. So creating that network, that community that you can reach out to for maybe an advice, like when Elam was having tummy aches every morning, what can I do? And my mom would go, well, maybe you can do this, or try that, or remember when you were little and I used to give you this or that. So that right there, that community is super important for relying on someone other than yourself, feeling that you're not alone doing this. Super important.
So could you discuss the role of support systems in maintaining emotional health and resilience for co-parents?
Yes, kind of like going along with the same that I just talked about. I remember one time I got a call from daycare that I had to come and get the kids because they had one of those hand, feet, and whatever. What is it called?
Hand, feet to mouth.
That viral infection.
Right.
That I've never heard about. And so I started asking questions to the people at work because I had no clue what that was. I was kind of like, my goodness, what happened now that I have to go get my kids from daycare? So they calmed me down, the couple of people at work, they explained what it was, and it's not such a big deal, but it is a viral infection. So you have to take the kids, keep them at home, take them to the doctor, give them whatever medicine the doctor says, and just, do as instructed, and they'll be fine. So it's not a big thing, but being a mom that has never dealt with that before, had I not had someone that I can go, what is this? And they explain, oh, okay, so it's not a big deal, take them to the doctor, do this and that, and it's gonna be okay. So it's important, super important for that mental health, for that reliability on someone explaining what that was. So it's important to have your network, your community, and be able to reach out, even if it's just for a question. Okay, so what is the significance of mutual respect for each parent's support needs in co-parenting?
This is actually really important. This goes all the way back to trust. And trust is probably what happened when we messed up in the beginning, at the end of our relationship together, our romantic one. We both know what happened with that. I made some mistakes I shouldn't have. But at the end of the day, because of our kids, we need to be able to rebuild the trust. Mm-hmm. And we need to be able to rebuild the trust based on something different. So not based on moving forward or a continuation of a romantic relationship, but moving forward with something brand new. Mm-hmm. And so since trust is at the core of this, it's super important that I trust the people that you've decided are important in your life, like the people that you put together with your Get Positively Inspired group and your friends at work, your family, which is awesome. And if I don't, then I make it harder for you to do what you need to do. And then again, I'm not helping my children in any way. The goal is to help the kids. The goal is for the kids to feel like they've got support from both their parents. And the only way that's going to happen is the parents decide that there's a way to trust each other again. And there is. There's an absolute way to do it. And the way to do it, and the only way I know of to do it, is by this new foundation that we were talking about earlier. Building this foundation that gives you something new to start on.
Right. So how does respecting each parent's independent support networks reinforce the co-parenting framework?
Similar to what I just said. At the end of the day, what ends up happening is you are supporting my support network so that I can get things done that I need to get done in case you're not available when you need to be. Or let's say I'm doing something and it was supposed to be at a time that you were supposed to be doing something with the kids, but something came up, something happened. Well, our support networks help each other get through these things. So we have to be able to support each other's support networks. We have to be able to trust that each other are going to have support networks that will be a benefit and help. Because again, at the end of the day, it's not about me, it's not about you, it's about our kids, and it's about figuring out a way to make sure that our kids grow up in a happy, fulfilled, as little trauma as possible.
Right. So finally, could you talk about the importance of coordination and communication in ensuring that co-parenting efforts align despite separate lives?
Yeah. This is not rocket science. At the end of the day, every relationship, it doesn't matter if it's friends, business partners, co-parents, intimate partners, whatever it is, you have to have cooperation, you have to have good communication, you have to have trust. These things are imperative, or these relationships will break down. So co-parenting, just another one of these relationships, and it has to have the same stuff that every other relationship has to have. And if it doesn't, it's going to break down. And again, where it always breaks down is we forget that it's not about us. It's about our kids. And if we can always remember that it's about our kids and not about us, then we will figure out a way to get through it.
You're right. I remember the day that my mom passed away. It was so sudden and so unexpected. I remember I had been texting with her all day long, and all of a sudden she stopped. And that's not like my mom. she would never just stop for hours. It wasn't like that, especially because we were arranging that I was going to be traveling to Mexico. And so this whole space passed, and all of a sudden I got the call from my aunt that she had passed away. And it was so close for the kids to come that I was supposed to go get the kids from daycare and take them to be with me. So I called you, that communication happened, and you understood that there was something out of the norm that just happened. So you offered to take the kids with you to get them from daycare and to not have to worry about them while I was trying to figure out what my next steps were, because I wanted to be going there with my mom in Mexico as this had happened. So yeah, it's so important to be having that communication open and available. We had a very insightful conversation today. We hope that the strategies and personal experiences we've shared will help you see the potential in your co-parenting journey. Rick and I have navigated through these challenges ourselves, and we understand the effort it takes to build a supportive and effective co-parenting relationship. Remember, the journey is about progress, not perfection. As we come to the end of this series, we reflect on the transformative journey we've embarked together. From the initial philosophical shift in episode 1, Embracing the Shift, where we redefine our relationships from romantic partnerships to co-parenting alignments, to episode 2, where defining the co-parenting framework, we establish the framework and set shared goals. And now, concluding with episode 3, establishing roles and support, where we looked into defining roles tailored to our strengths and building individual and collective support systems. Throughout these episodes, our focus has remained on creating and nurturing a stable environment for our children. Ensuring their well-being is before every decision and interaction. By embracing new roles, aligning our strengths, and supporting each other in our individual needs, we have laid down a robust foundation for successful co-parenting. This series was designed not just to share insights, but to inspire action and hope. We hope that by sharing our journey and the strategies that have helped us, you feel empowered to tackle the challenges of co-parenting with a renewed perspective and practical tools that foster understanding, cooperation, and enduring support. Thank you for joining us on this transformative journey. Whether you're just starting out or looking to strengthen your co-parenting practices, remember, the path is continuous and growth is always possible. May your co-parenting journey be filled with collaborative spirit, mutual respect, and a profound commitment to the well-being of your children, ensuring they thrive in an environment that is loving, stable, and supportive. Stay tuned for our next episode. Let me continue sharing my co-parenting journey by clicking subscribe, and for even more positively inspired co-parenting tips, go to my blog at my website www.getpositivelyiinspired.com. See you on Thursday, and remember, you are positively inspired.